Okay, this video is for George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. George, this is my contraption. The chassis is originally a Craftsman garden tractor. I think it had the Briggs V-twin originally from the factory. This belonged to an elderly friend of mine. His original plan was to put a International Harvester 3 to 5 throttle governed engine on this, and life and health and other things conspired against him, and he wound up giving me the chassis. I found this little Yanmar single cylinder diesel engine. Actually, I got 3 of them in a deal. And so I cobbled together some motor mounts, and of course I pulled all the sheet metal off. This thing was just a mess, and got it cleaned up. The fuel tank gave me fits. The bottom was rusted out, and a combination of sheet metal patching and a little JB weld and so on and so forth. It is been holding fuel for months, as you can see by the fuel filter bowl there. No fuel leaks. A buddy of mine who is a prolific garden tractor modifier and builder, he's put a couple of diesel engines on these things, and with great success. He came over and we tried to start this thing, and before you know it, I had wet stacking coming out to the exhaust. So I'm going to have to break that engine down. I've got 1 or more rings probably stuck to the piston, and she's bleeding too much oil by. So I've got to tear it down and assess that. But as you can see, these were pretty husky. Of course, all the sheet metal's off of it right now and laying out back. I am going to utilize some of the sheet metal that came with the engine. I'm going to need that because it's air-cooled, and so I will need the shroud that helped encompass that cylinder head and all that stuff for cooling. But I'm a retired sheet metal mechanic, so I'm going to do some interesting stuff as far as sheet metal goes, dolling this thing up. Of course, it's got the requisite flat tire. I'll eventually put ag tires on it. I think it's a 3-speed gearbox. I'm not sure the brand yet. It might be a Peerless, might be another one. You'd probably know more than I do, George, since you've got more experience messing with these things. I'm going to be running a jack shaft off the frame because I have to tie in with this pulley to the jack shaft, come over with another pulley arrangement to get back here to drive the transmission. And it won't be quite the Rube Goldberg setup you have on the Goofy cart, but it'll be interesting anyway. Excuse the sorry state of my shop here. It's a mess. I'm still moving into this. I had this put up not too long ago. So I'm still moving in and working on projects at the same time, which is a dumb thing to do, but I've got a little power steering unit there. I got it from a friend, and a couple of cylinders off an old Alice Chalmers tractor. I'm going to put hydraulics on it. I'm going to run an alternator on it. And it's just going to morph from there. So it's, going to be a fun little project, and you've inspired me with your progress on Goofy Cart to get off my duff and get back on this thing and get her going, have some fun. My buddy Lance he's up 3 or 4 garden tractors to my 1, and his are all running. So there you have it. That's the contraption. I'll give you a quick shot of a couple more projects. This belongs to a buddy of mine. It's a little Gibson Model A, and it's got a brake band busted back in there, and so I am going to tear that apart and fix it for him. I've got my own Gibson Model A in the shed out back here. It's got the same problem, so I'll probably tear them down at the same time and do them both and repair the brake bands on this thing. And the same friend that owns this gave me this little project I'm working on here right now, I've got a little Hercules 1.5 horse hit and miss engine that I've got torn down to parade rest. You know, I don't take my own advice. I start too many projects and don't get any of them done. But Bubba had this before me because the way this was put together, a lot of new parts, but silicone the bearings on the crankshaft. He had those siliconed in the frame here. And when he did it, he also plugged up the oil holes on the crankshaft bearings there. Fortunately, he didn't run it that way, or I'd have a big mess here. But anyway, that's another fun little project. But I'm letting this drag on too long now. So anyway, George, there you go. That's my contraption, and this is my shop. It's a sorry mess right now, but anyway, let you go. Hope you enjoy this, and good luck on that goofy cart.